So if you're thinking of building a home studio, this is the video to watch. Please subscribe and I'll talk about it after the cool music. So before I get into it, the first question you should ask yourself is what kind of studio do you want to build? Alright, there's so many different kinds, and depending on what kind of artist you want to do you want to do voiceover work? Do you want to work with big bands? This will determine what kind of gear you should be looking at getting. If you're not sure, create a quick matrix. Write down the kind of studio you want to build in the middle of a piece of paper, and write a bunch of things like the clientele you want to work with, you want to do mixing, mastering, any idea that comes to your head right around this title. And then circle the top 3. Something like this. Alright, that'll give you an idea of what kind of studio you want to build and what kind of gear you should be looking at. Computers. Doesn't matter. If you're just focusing on doing audio with music, you don't need to have the state-of-the-art MacBook Pro to do that kind of work. In fact, you probably have a computer in your home right now that can handle what you need. Down the road, if you need to invest, do it. But for now, you don't need much. A laptop that's a couple years old will work just fine, okay? So, and don't worry about Mac, PC, it doesn't matter. At the end, computers all do the same thing. They crunch numbers. It's more about the engineer than the computer. Your digital audio workstation, your DAW. There's a lot of great free software out there right now that you can use that will help you get going right off the bat. So things that I can think of off the top of my head, Reaper. You can download Reaper, do the trial version for I think as long as you want. It's $60 if you want to buy it, which is fantastic if you're on a budget. If you decide you want to get into the Pro Tools realm, there's Pro Tools First that you can download right from the Avid website, and it basically gives you all the functionality of Pro Tools, but it limits you in tracks. So if you're not doing big productions and you want to do, or even if you want to do big productions and get creative with bouncing down, sure, why not? But if you're doing like voiceover work and you just want to get in the Pro Tools realm, this is a great place to start, so check that out. I have a video that I did, reviewed my top 5 favorite free digital audio workstations, so check it out. I'll have a link in below. Okay, microphones. Depending on what kind of studio you're building, this could be a big collection, a small collection. For starting off, I would recommend investing in getting a good condenser microphone. Condenser microphones are sensitive, so they're great for things like acoustic, vocals, piano. It's a great all-around microphone to have and get you going. They require something with phantom power, which is probably something that you're going to want to make sure you have on your interface, which I think most of them do now. But anyways, just to be aware of that. So a microphone that I would recommend, the Technica 2020 has always been a good solid microphone. It's like 150 bucks. So those are some recommendations I have for microphones. Okay, an interface. What is an interface? Why do we need this box called an interface? So the interface is basically a combination of different pieces of gear that we need for recording. The first one is a preamp, which takes the mic level signal, the low end or the instrument level signal, and boosts it to line level or working level that allows us to manipulate and actually work with the audio. And your AD converter, which is the other part of the interface, converts that electrical current signal into binary, into ones and zeros, so the computer can actually work with it. You can find a really nice interface between $100 to $300 depending on what you need. What I recommend, and you'll see this across the board on YouTube, is Focusrite, the Scarlet series. They're cheap, they do a lot, their preamps sound great. I think they're starting at about $100 and you can work your way up to something that has maybe multiple preamps for about $250, $300. Do you need speakers? Well, that's really up to you and how you want to work. I recommend working on speakers, but there's a lot of issues that come with speakers, mainly because of your room. So if you have a small room and your speakers are against the wall, you're going to be fighting a lot of things. You might find that you're overcompensating for low end. So this is where buying a really good set of headphones is probably more beneficial at this stage, right? I recommend using Sennheisers. I have Sennheisers. You can get Sennheisers, the 280 HDs. I think they're $100. They sound great. AKG makes a really great line. Some people like working with the earbuds. Sure, why not? If you're comfortable with that and that's what you're used to, it's probably going to be better than spending more money on something you're not used to and then having to learn how to compensate, right? So it's all relative. If you decide you want to get speakers, there's different price points. The KRKs have a really nice entry-level speaker. There's like the studio media speakers now. I think Mackie makes a pair for under $100. They're more like computer speakers, but again, it all depends on how comfortable you are in your room and what your room's doing. Other things you're going to need are definitely going to be cables, XLR cables, at least one. You can buy probably a bundle of 5 for under $100, or you can buy like a 20-foot XLR cable for your microphone, which roughly will run you about $20. Mic stands. Again, you can get yourself a mic stand with a boom for probably about $30. I would recommend something with a boom arm on it just to help you manipulate it a little bit more. So if you have to mic a guitar amp or something, you can get closer to it. It's not going to be an issue. And a pop screen. A pop screen is very important. You can buy these for like $20 off of Amazon. When we sing, we create these plosive sounds with our P's and B's, and they clip the microphone, and they're really, really hard to work with after the fact. So you want to make sure you have a really good pop filter in place there. There you have it. There's my rundown of building a studio on a budget. And you've probably seen a couple of these videos and you've probably heard roughly the same thing, and there's a reason for that. You don't need to have these super expensive studios to get really amazing sounds. If you're recording something and you're not liking the sound, moving the microphone an inch and changing the mic placement will have a much more drastic sound change than if you swap out the microphone and keep it in the place. So learning the fundamentals, learning about mic placement, all that stuff is way more important. The only way you're going to do that is by practice. So if this is what you want to do and you want to get into it, build yourself a simple setup and get recording stuff. That's the best advice I could have for you. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I do these. I try to get a video out at least once every week, once to every 2 weeks. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, or if there's anything that I left out, leave a comment and I will get back to you. If you have any questions about gear, let me know. And again, I'll do some research and I'll find out for you. So yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you guys later.